Hey everyone, Evan Jones with you here on the RPAC Rundown podcast. This week on the pod, we will visit with Houston Billeter of Southwest. Houston is one of the top golfers in the RPAC, and we will chat with him about the season ahead. They did have an invite earlier this week, so we talk about that too. Also, we have Athletes of the Week brought to you by First Central Bank at the end of the show. Of course, the RPAC Rundown podcast is brought to you by a bunch of great sponsors like Arapahoe Rehab and Fitness, Cambridge Supermarket, Webb's Oilfield Service, Cambridge Rehab and Fitness, Onyx Native, and C+. We'll take a break. Be right back. Joining us on the RPAC Rundown podcast is Houston Billeter of Southwest. He golfs for the Rough Riders. All right, Houston, let's just talk about the practices so far this spring. How have things been going for you?
Yeah, they've been actually going really well. Um, we've been able to get out and fairly early with last year it snowed and now this year, I mean, it really hasn't affected us being able to get out there as much, but Coach Broad, he always has a great plan for us to go out there and whether it's going to the driving range one day and then another day working on just trying to get two putts only and or whatever type of part of our game. It's Cambridge is a really nice course for us to be able to get out there and work on any type of skill. And yeah, practice has been going well, and I think it'll start to show later on if we just keep putting in the time.
Now, you've got your first competition under your belt. You golfed in Cambridge on Tuesday. And like you said, that's where you get to practice, kind of a home meet for you, essentially. You ended up getting third with an 84. How did it feel to get back to competing and also having some positive results?
Yeah, it was just amazing to get back because I really love golf and it's something new that I've picked up and I just felt like a kid on Christmas Eve the night before just waiting to be able to go out and golf. So I was really excited just to go out and play and then I was really pleased with my results, but I know I can definitely do better. So I'm just excited for every opportunity and I was excited to get the first one out of the way.
Now, it felt like two different days, essentially. The conditions were terrible for the first half of the day, windy, cold, whatever it was. And then afternoon, 65 degrees, minimal winds, things like that. But when the conditions can kind of affect the game, how do you maybe not focus on the elements? What do you do to kind of stay focused and not worry about the exterior things?
In the morning it was pretty cold and windy, which that was just a struggle to get over, just the mental side. But I mean, really, what I tried to do was just talking to my group members. I had really nice and friendly group members that I just got along with well, and just try not to really even think about the elements. Which I mean, they were obviously there and played a big part. But I mean, if you just tried to have fun and get your mind off of it, really, and just what worked well was just talking with the other group members, making jokes, or just talking about anything. That really took my mind off of it and made me not worry about it as much.
Sure. Yeah. Now, just talking about the golf season, like you said, you enjoy it so much, and I'm knowing you got some goals. What are some individual goals for you this season?
Yeah, I guess the main one right away is just trying to qualify for state individually, as last year I came up a little short. And but yeah, that's just the first main goal, and then I guess the second one is to try to place at every meet, and which I started off well with the first meet being able to place, and then I guess the third and final one is just to break 80 and go under and break our school record right now.
No, that's great. That's great. Now, you kind of had some adversity in the off season. Talking about the summer more than anything. You're quite a bit removed from the arm injury that you had in the summer. You played football, you played basketball just fine. But during that process of getting healthy, what did you learn, and how did that setback maybe help you a little bit?
Yeah, it really just made me like just start to appreciate things more. And just with being out, it really just sucked because I had to watch and I couldn't be there with my team just during the summer stuff with lifting weights with them or just different team camps. And it made me like think that I wouldn't ever want this to happen again. I need to appreciate it more as like I'm actually in the sport. So it just made me have a different way of looking at things, I guess. And so that it just changed my mindset a little bit more, and I was just more grateful and all.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, an easy one maybe for you, or maybe it's not. Depends what kind of a golfer you are, I guess. You're a lot better than I am because I know what my go to club would be. But for you, what's your go to club, Houston?
Well, I mean, Before I was maybe gonna say the driver, but it was a little inconsistent, so I don't know if I'd say that, but I'd probably say my my lob wedge, my 60 degree. I that was one of the first clubs I ever started to use around my house,
Hmm.
chipping around, so I've just been used to that, and I'd say that's probably my favorite or go-to club.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, hey, thanks for the time, Houston, and good luck the rest of the season. All right.
Yep, thank you so much, Evan.
Welcome back to the RPAC Rundown podcast. So, you may have seen that we have some new content and a new section on our website, RPAC Rundown Overtime. So, I wanted to explain that a little bit more if you haven't seen. We've been wanting to do some more creative things, some different content, anything from exclusive articles, power rankings, practice reports, spotlight series, and more. It's been really fun so far. We're really early into it. We just have a couple of articles out so far. But to view this content, you will have to subscribe and pay a small subscription fee. Super affordable, $3 per month plus tax, or $30 per year plus tax. So if you sign up for a year, essentially you get 2 months free. So I'll answer a question that we may have gotten, some questions that you may have. What about the previous coverage we've done? Our weekly blog results, those will remain free for people to read. The podcast remains free to listen to and watch. And any articles after our RPAC rundown featured matchups and events, those remain free too. So this is bonus coverage essentially. So if you like what we've been doing so far covering the RPAC, sign up for an overtime subscription to get even more. We're really excited, and the coverage is great so far, and we can't wait to highlight the conference even more and in some different ways. So we'll take a break. Guess what? It's time to announce the RPAC Rundown Athletes of the Week. Welcome back. It's time to announce the RPAC Rundown Athletes of the Week, brought to you by First Central Bank. Let's plan for tomorrow together. First Central Bank, member FDIC. Our female athlete of the week goes to Addie Hunt of Southern Valley. Hunt won all 4 of her events and broke 2 of her own school records at her home invite last Friday on March 28th. In the 100-meter dash, she had a time of 12.07, and in the 200-meter dash, she had a time of 24.57. She also ran the 400-meter dash with a time of 59.73 and had a leap of 17 feet 4 inches in the long jump. Our male athlete of the week goes to Marcus Hernandez of Bertrand. Hernandez set a new school record at the Southern Valley Invite last Friday with a vault of 14 feet 9 inches, and also placed second in the mile with a time of 5 minutes 22.65 seconds. He also placed first in the 3,200-meter run with a time of 12 minutes 47.73 seconds, and was a member of the 4x400-meter relay team that placed third with a time of 3 minutes 57.07 seconds. Our Athlete of the Week awards are brought to you by First Central Bank, member FDIC. That will do it for this week's episode of the pod. Of course, we have great sponsors of the podcast like JBK Operating LLC, Scouts Recreation, First Central Bank, Cross Diamond Cattle Company, Tri-Valley Medical Foundation, and Prairie Girl Candle Company. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.